Okay, my name's Mr. Brady, and what we're going to be doing in this video is talking about an introduction to something called flip teaching. So throughout 2013, what we're going to be doing with grade 8 maths in this class is that we're going to be teaching through the use of what's called flip videos, which is underneath the overall banner of flip teaching. Okay, and these flip videos will replace the regular lecture content of our year 8 mathematics classroom. Okay, so this video's intention is for the students to sit down with the parents and watch it together so they know what flip teaching is. Everyone's on the same page with it, and you as parents will understand what is expected by me of your child, and what will be happening in the classroom as well. Okay, so first off, what is flip teaching? Well, flip teaching essentially flips the traditional concept of the classroom, is the easiest way to say it. Okay, so it is actually flipping over. So it's not an acronym, we are flipping over the classroom. So we'll have a look at the traditional concept of a classroom. So this may be something that you are familiar with. And so essentially what will happen is that the teacher comes in, which is me, and I write a whole bunch of things on the board. And this can sometimes take around 20 minutes once you've got kids in the class sitting down, got managing behaviour, going through things, ensuring students understand it, and then setting them the work and so they know what they're doing. So this can be 20 minutes plus, which can end up being somewhere between 50% through to 75% of the lesson time, which is only about 50 minutes. And so a lot of time is spent, unfortunately, in the traditional classroom with the teacher up the front lecturing. Okay, and in here we've got a student who's confused, doesn't really understand what's being going, they're just writing it down. Here's a student who's kind of, maybe they're a bit smart, so they're just sleeping. They've just got it, they want to go on with it, they don't want to have to sit there and listen to me. And here's a student who's either excited or is thinking of something really naughty to do. So essentially, with this traditional idea, the classroom is a lecture theatre and the home is where you go home and do some exercises, which is typically called homework. Okay, but we're aiming to flip that over and change it because there's some major problems with the traditional style. So the first off is the attention span, because we're asking kids to sit there for 10 through to 20 or more minutes of just listening and small interaction. Okay, so they're not doing a lot, and you're really asking them to sit down and absorb all this knowledge. Okay, and another big problem with that is classroom behavior, because when you're asking people to sit down still and listen, their main desire is to not do that. So classroom behavior can become an issue. This sucks up time as well. Okay, it takes time to manage a classroom. Okay, it takes time to manage a classroom, and if that's taking time, it's taking time away from either teaching this content or the students having opportunity to go through it. Okay, now here's another problem: missed classes. If your child misses a class, they don't have that content, so they miss content. Okay, they miss content if they miss a class, and that's hard to catch back up on, because it's difficult for me to come along and tutor one-on-one a kid long enough for them to understand everything that's going on in a class. And probably most importantly is no teacher access during exercises. So at home, when your child's doing their homework, I am not there. Okay, now it's obvious, but it's a big problem, because it means if they're having any dramas, if there's any issues, I'm not there to ask questions. Okay, that's when that time of consolidation and going through exercises and redoing some things to help their mind start to change shape, to understand, to be able to do things a little faster and understand them a bit more. I'm not there to help them out if things aren't going well. Okay, so that's probably the biggest issue that I have with the traditional way of doing mathematics. Okay, so the solution is what's called the flipped classroom. Okay, so there's a couple of steps the way this goes. So step one is that you watch the content video at home. Okay, so what will happen is everything that usually gets done on the board at the start of a class to introduce content to students will be done in a flipped video like this, that is uploaded onto YouTube on an account that can't be commented on or friended and all that kind of stuff. So there's no issues with social media and the things that can come along, negative things that can come with that. It's just purely for the students to watch the video. So they watch that content video at home, usually about 10-15 minutes. Now here's the important things. They need to take some notes, okay? You don't just sit there and assume it all gets absorbed in. They need to take notes of the video, or even just writing down what the video is doing, the same as they would as if it was in class. Okay, then they can check some understanding with some exercises. So there'll be exercises associated with each video, and if there's time, have your child can do those as well. And then they arrive at class with targeted questions. And so what that means is that they've watched the video, they've taken notes, they've had a shot at some of the exercises, maybe one or two. That's all you need to do. And if there's something they still don't understand about the video or what they tried, they come to class saying, I didn't understand this, Mr. Brady. Okay? And that gives me a great vehicle to be able to help them in class. Okay? That's very important. So they come with targeted questions. They don't just say, I didn't get any of it. They come along saying, I didn't get this little piece. Okay? Right. The next step is collaborating in the classroom. Okay, so the way that we have our classroom set up is in clusters of maximum of 6 kids, and I allow students to sit with their peers because I believe that knowledge is socially constructed, and they're quite happily able to communicate with each other. Okay, and well, everything's always within reason, but essentially I'm trying to very much push kids in the peer mentoring, peer teaching. They're learning things together. Okay, so we have sort of kids here sitting at a table together discussing this stuff that they're doing. Students here coming and asking me about the kinds of things. If you look here on the whiteboard, there is nothing up there. Okay, with this flipped teaching, I hardly ever draw attention to the board and make everyone be quiet so they can listen to me go through something. That might sound weird, but it works really well. So some of the great things about the way this will work with the collaborate in the classroom step is the teacher is available, me is available for one-to-one tuition 100% of the class time. So before, when there was maybe like 15 minutes or so left of do some exercises, I'll check your understanding and things, 100%, so 50 minutes is set aside to get an idea of understanding and kids able to practice stuff and go through exercises with me there, available for them to come and help them out, rather than them trying to slog it through at home by themselves. Laptops are available at the back of the classroom to catch up on video content. So if your child was unable to watch the video for some reason, some students don't have access to the internet or access to YouTube or all kinds of things, we have the laptops available, so your child is not going to miss out on the teaching content. They would just get to watch it in that 10-15 minutes by themselves. They put some headphones on, sit there, listen to it, write the notes, etc., etc. Okay. Then they get to sit in collaborative groups to engage in content with similar ability peers. So what we found when we did this last year was that students, without even asking them to, had a tendency to sit with people who were progressing through the content at the same speed as them. So students who were getting it done at what you'd call an average speed, they were fine. They were sitting together and they were getting through the content within the time allotted. Additionally, those kids who were excelling, they were able to sit together and just power through this stuff because they didn't have to wait for me to do it. All the videos were there for them to watch. They could just watch the whole term's content at one hit if they wanted to. And those students who struggle with the material, they were finding other students that were also quite happy to go through it at that pace, or grab someone who's maybe a little bit further along than them and sit with them and help take them through. It was really, really exciting to see. And additionally, students are empowered to manage the coursework at their own pace, which ensures mastery. So some things that really improve engagement and motivation are giving students empowerment of their own learning. So students choose the pace at which they tackle the course content. Okay, what happens is that I give them a sheet of the chapters and the videos, and sort of let them know what they need to get up to by the end of by getting close to exam time. And every time they come in a lesson, they've got to write down that lesson date and tick what they've been doing. Once they've finished a particular topic, they cross it out so that they know and I know that they've finished that piece. And that also now enables me to come along at any time and see exactly where they're up to. It enables you as the parent to come along and see exactly where your child is up to and how they're progressing through the material. And the great thing is it ensures mastery. And so students aren't having to leave things behind that they didn't get because they're able to spend an extra week on that thing if they wanted to, knowing that maybe they need to speed things up a little later, or maybe there'll be something they find easier. Giving students the ability to spend a little longer makes such a huge difference in the end. So, as I said before, we did do this last year, so this is not the trial run. The trial run has happened. And so I want to talk a little bit about some of the past experiences. When talking with the students at the end of the term that we ran it with, they were overwhelmingly positive. So the grade 8 class that I took through with this were so excited to do it. They were really excited. They were the first ones to get to try it, and very excited the opportunity it gave them to watch videos. Essentially, when I came in the classroom, there was sometimes 4 or 5 levels of learning happening at once. And there were some kids who were still doing some basic stuff. I had some kids who were getting advanced and were finishing like 4 weeks early, and so they did some extension things or brought in some assignments from other classes. I could come in and see kids with laptops out and they were watching the videos ready to come back up and sit down and go through the stuff. And even students who typically found it quite difficult to organize their learning were finding it very easy to come in because they knew what they had to do. They knew they think to themselves, I watch a video and I get down to these exercises. Mr. Brady's printed out a list of them. I know what I need to do, and it was just great. Some of the excellent achievements that I saw happen was some students, a number of students actually went from B's through to A's, which is great because they were able to master concepts that they may not have had the time to before. They were starting to realize that they're capable of getting A's in mathematics. And possibly the most exciting one is that I had a student who they were getting consistently E through term 1, 2, and 3 last year. And it was very difficult because this particular student was trying exceptionally hard, and I was very proud of the effort that they were putting in, but unfortunately it just wasn't translating to exams situations at all. Now, when we transition to the flip format, and this is, yes, only one case, but just an exceptionally great one, is that particular student managed to get a C+. So they went E, C+, which is such a dramatic change. And they said that it was just the ability to be able to go and have a look at that video again for that thing that they didn't understand. They didn't have to wait to ask me. They didn't have to feel embarrassed because they were asking me a question about, oh, how do we do such and such again? Because they could just go and anonymously watch the video with not having to worry to even ask me how to show them how to do it. They could just see the video again of me doing it. And they just found that so helpful. And again, as I said before, the checklist for the unit content, in that I can see, you can see, the student can see at any time where they're up to, how they're progressing, will they be done in time, are they doing things well and thoroughly, and that has just been such a great help. So I really want to ask for your support in this flip teaching and give your child the opportunity to watch these videos at home, knowing that they are part of the course content. Just know that this has been done through reading up on some research that's been done in flip teaching in the United States, and sort of we're running our videos, after using their research. So it's been done in the right formats with the right method, and ensuring that certain things are done so that the best possible learning happens for your students, for your children. Sorry. So I hope this video has been informative, and I look forward to speaking to you sometime through the year. Thank you.